All right, guys. Number 9. First of all, it will tell you like that it's a circle if it wants you to put it in a standard form because it's going to ask for specific things. Like it's going to ask for center and radius, so you would know it's a circle. But also remember your tricks, right? Like A and C are both the same, so this would obviously be a circle. So when you group them together, it gets messy just because there's fractions involved, but it's the same process. So there will not be, well, and I'm not making any promises for the makeup because I haven't made it yet. But for Mondays, when you're doing the complete the square, no. So I get 16x squared minus 16x, and then you'd get plus 16y squared plus 24y, and then you bump the 3 to the other side. Then you have to take out the 16. God bless you. X squared minus x plus 16y, or y squared.
And circles don't have to be equal to 1, right?
No, they're the only, well, that and parabolas. So 24 divided by 16, like 8 goes into both of these. This would be 3 halves. So in the world of complete the square, you can certainly get fractions, which is why I want to go over it. But again, like I said, on the complete the square that is on Monday's test, shouldn't happen. So the 1 that is here, when divided by 2, it becomes 1/2. When squared, it becomes 1/4, and you would add 1/4 here. And then I would normally add 1/4 here, but before I do that, I multiply it by the 16. So I'm actually adding 4 because it simplifies. Then the 3 halves divided by 2 would be 3/4, and 3/4 squared would be 9/16. And I'd be adding the 9/16 after I multiply by 16. So again, they cancel and I add 9. Your other option at the very beginning would have been to divide everything by 16, but it doesn't eliminate your fractions. Like you're still gonna have your fractions, so it's not like you can avoid them completely. So now when I factor, the 16 stays on the front, I'd get x minus 1/2 because I would square root, take the sign from the middle, put it in the parentheses and square it. And then 16y plus 3/4, again, square root, sign from the middle, put it in the parentheses and square it, equals 7 plus 9 or 16. So now if it's a circle, whatever's on the front here should be the same as what's on the front there. So when I divide everything by it, it goes away. It happens to equal 1 this time, but it doesn't have to. So then my center is 1/2 and negative 3/4, and my radius is 1.
I want to see, I think I got 5 right. Okay, yes, I got
5.
I just want to make sure I was doing it right. Because what I did was I was basically graph the endpoint and found the middle and then draw the circle around it.
Yep. And then, so like, you could find the midpoint, -1 plus 5, right? So the center is the midpoint.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Good. Equals midpoint. So -1 plus 5 over 2, and then 2 plus 6 over 2, 4 over 2, 8 over 2, 2, 4 is your center. And then you can pick that with either point and plug it in like we did with number 3. So I would actually say pick the 5, 6 just because they're both positive. If you can avoid the negative, that's where stupid mistakes get made. But you can pick either one. So then the 5, 6 would be my xy. This would be my hk. So it'd be 5 minus 2 squared plus 6 minus 4 squared equals r squared. 3 squared, 2 squared, and I get 9 plus 4. So r squared is 13. And then your equation, x minus 2 squared plus y minus 4 squared equals 13. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so 15 is a parabola, right? The parabola, your squared term has to be on the side by itself. And so like and it has to be positive. I can't leave the negative there. So I move this over here. I eventually have to multiply by -1 to make that a positive y squared. So I could just do the opposite. So 4x would equal y squared. Because your brains are so far trained like to have that squared on the side, I would recommend flipping it. You don't have to, but I would say flip it. So then I get y squared equals 4x. So it's a parabola that faces to the right because it's a y squared and it has a positive 4p. Your vertex is at 0, 0. Your 4p is 4, which means p is 1. So then on the graph, you'd have a vertex at 0, 0. You'd go to the right one to get the focus. So the focus would be at 1, 0. your branches or scoop will go around it, and then you'd go to the left one to get your directrix. So your directrix is a vertical line, which is x equals, and it'd be -1. Yeah, sure.
See, Miss Crystal, I was just about to ask about 45, and then I realized.
Here, let me work through it. So 9x squared minus 18x, and then minus 16y squared minus 32y equals 151. And then you took out the 9, right?
Yeah.
X squared minus 2x. And then you take out a -16. It changes the signs. Equals 151. Now I've got 2 divided by 2 is 1. Square it, it's 1. You add it here. Add it here after you multiply by the 9. And then same here. 2 divided by 2 squared is 1. Add the 1. And after you multiply by -16.
That was my question.
Yeah.
It's -16.
It changes its sign. So then this is 9x minus 1 squared minus 16y plus 1 squared equals, this is 160 minus 16, 144. And then you divide. And I get x minus 1 squared over 16 minus y plus 1 squared over 9 equals 1. So these are the ones I would say, like a question like that is going to be worth the most points on your whole test, because you've got find the equation in standard form, so that's going to be worth points. Then from here, find the center, find the vertice, find the covertices, find the foci, find the asymptotes, graph, eccentricity. So 8 parts to that kind of question. That one has the most weight on your test. And then ellipses, like ellipse, kind of just beyond that, or just less than that, because you don't answer asymptotes, but everything else you still answer.
And then for the foci, you do the c squared equals
C-
a squared plus b squared.
Correct. So it'd be 16 plus 9, which is 25. So C is 5.
And these are the only ones that has, this is the only one that has it like that, right? You got-
No, the ellipse, correct. The ellipse is minus. Yep. Opposite sign of your standard form. So hyperbola has a minus. So then we add the C. The ellipse has a plus. So then we a squared minus b squared. Yeah.
Can you go back up to 15?
Mm-hmm. Let's say 45, so this is C is 8. Let's say that this said, well, still have something where it is like a triple, so it does make sense. You would have to find, it wouldn't simplify then. This would be, because this is what? This is horizontal, right? So this would be your B over A, B3, A4. I just won't trick you with the having to simplify it. Yeah.
You would have something like that?
Where I gave you the asymptote, but it's not the one that's simplified, and you could get the C. Sure. Yeah.
C over a. That's
C over A. That's all it is. For E is C over A for both ellipse and hyperbola. So this would be 5 over 4.
okay.
Oh, so only ellipse and hyperbola is taking
Eccentricity.
Might have another
Yep.
question, so let me graph it, and then I'll.
Okay. Report back. All right. The 2 you missed the most, right? So 12 said, I don't know what order you got it in, but what are the coordinates for the focus? Shh. So look at this equation. What is this? It's a parabola. Which direction does it face?
Horizontal.
It's horizontal, but which direction? Right or left? Left, right? Points to the left. So my vertex is -1, 4, because it's opposite of x, opposite of y. And the 4p equals 8, so p is 2. So if it opens this way, the focus is going to be further left. So I go back 2 places, so you're at -3, 4, which was that one. All right, then 13. What is this? Parabola. The only thing that has a directrix, right? Which direction does it face? Up. Your vertex is -3, -5, and it points up. So where would your directrix be? Above or below? Good. Below. And if 4p is 4, then the p is 1. So it is 1 below, which is a y equals 1 down from -5, which is -6. Any other questions on any of them I need to go over? Those were the 2 you missed the most. All right. All right, it says write an equation for the ellipse with each set of characteristics. It gives you the vertices -7, -3. All right, -7, -3. So I'm back 7 down to -3. And then 13, -3. So if those are your vertices, that means that it's horizontal. So your x gets the A. It also means your midpoint is your center. So halfway between -7 and 13 would be 6/2, which is 3. So center's at 3, -3. So if you look, they all, except for that last one, had x -3. So that one, you can rule that out already. And then your vertices are from 3 to 13 or 3 to -7. So your A is 10. I'm the only one that had the x over the 10 squared was that one. The foci would have given you C, which would have then, you would have used to get B, but you can kind of use process of elimination just right there to get rid of the other two.